Hi everybody, I'm Jade Ocean. Thank you so much for joining my channel today. Today we're going to be doing a nice slow yin yoga style. So yin yoga is a little bit more of a stretching, a deep stretching style yoga. So we won't be moving around too much. We're going to be doing, a few different poses. We're going to hit, all different parts of the body. I'm going to make you guys stretch out your front hip flexors, your quads a little bit, your hamstrings. We're going to go into, a little bit of, when we do the legs, we're going to hit also the calves. All get your, side body, your lower back, your upper back a little bit. We're going to hit the shoulders and the neck as well. So, and also to the hands. So, it's a little bit longer class. We will be going through all this stuff, maybe a couple poses per thing. And yeah, so it's kind of like a tune-up for the body. So I do want you guys to, have something really comfortable on. We're not moving around a lot, so you don't need anything that's, super tight. Just be comfortable. Make sure that you have, either a bolster or a pillow of some sort. If you don't have a bolster or pillow around, that's fine. You could also use a block. Also be sure that you have a strap. So anything will work as a strap, anything that's long that you can use for stretching. So, any sort of a rope or a scarf or belt or anything like that. So go ahead and grab all your stuff. Today's class is about balancing the energy into a sweet, subtle, calm release and surrender for the body. This class stretches all the tissues, all the connective tissues of the body. I'm going to be stimulating your medians, your body's medians, and releasing all that bent up stress, tension throughout the body. So that's what today is all about. We're going to bring in that energy. It's almost like a flush, like an energy flush through the body. So as we stretch, we're opening up these areas for the energy. That energy is just to come in and just flush you through and get rid of all that negative feeling and allow your body to function properly. It's almost like a road with a tree that fell in the way. And when the tree falls in the way, we can't really get through it. So it's really hard to get around it. And that's kind of how our body works when we get all this stress, bent up tissue. And sometimes we don't know it, and it could be just happening, and we don't even feel stressed out. It's just happening. So you'd be surprised how much we clench, and how many things just tense up inside of us, and we're just not aware of it. So we're just going to go through and pretty much just move the trees out of the way. We're not going to go and pull the roots up or anything today. And beware, I will have other classes for that. You could look out for it, where we find those areas that are really tense and just go and really dig into it and really open it up. So that's a little bit more focused. Today we're just gonna, like I said, tune it up in the whole body. So if you guys are ready, go ahead and change into something comfy. Make sure that you can even have a blanket out. Just be really comfortable and grab your mat, grab your blanket, grab your strap, and grab maybe a bolster, or also maybe both, block as well. All right, so when you guys are ready, I'll meet you down. We're gonna start in a supine position. So grab your stuff and I'll meet you there. And go ahead when you are ready. We're gonna lay back in supine. So supine is where our body's facing up, our face and our front body is facing up. So make sure that you tuck your shoulder blades, be sure that you pull your tailbone down. That way then our lower back is not just arching too much. So we want to find that neutral, like natural curves of the body. So pull the tailbone down, tuck the back, pull the shoulders down, maybe wiggle the neck out a little bit. Find that relaxed state in the neck. We want to be about parallel with the bottom of the mat. So we don't want our chin to be tucking. We don't want to be arching our head back. We want to just be nice and comfortable. We want the traps to be relaxed. Traps are up here by the shoulders and the neck. And go ahead and just open your arms with the palms up towards the sky or ceiling, wherever you may be. And just take a deep breath. Let's just take a few minutes to connect with our breath and just draw awareness to this moment. Maybe noticing how our thoughts are at this moment, and noticing what we're bringing on our mat with us, and just maybe drawing attention more to the breath and letting the thoughts just pass. Taking this time to just really focus on yourself and build yourself and repair yourself. Because if you're not doing well, if you're not your full best self, pretty soon you won't have much to offer. So in order to give back, you need to make sure that you take care of yourself. We spend a lot of time, tense and moving around and doing things. It's really hard just to slow down and, draw that focus into areas that maybe need a little bit of attention, of, just love, slowing down. And take a deep breath in. Sometimes to build the momentum in life, we need to slow down. And I want you guys to take a deep breath in, filling the belly up. You can even place your hands on the belly. I like to put one hand low on the belly and one hand a little bit higher, right below the ribs, maybe touching the ribs a little bit. Noticing the breath coming into the belly. Let the belly fill up, expanding. And exhale. Think about inhaling, just maybe lengthening a little bit more, filling up just a little bit fuller each time. And as you exhale, just softening, allowing your body just to sink, giving yourself permission just to settle, just to be calm. Maybe noticing thoughts, and each time they pass a little bit quicker, knowing that this time you're not in control of anything else, around you in the future and the past. This is just the time for you. All you're in control of is your movement, your breath. Keep breathing. Nice full embrace of inhales. And feeling into the chest, the side ribs to stretch out the muscles in between the ribs. Exhale, softening the ribs, letting the face just drop, just sink, almost like it's melting. Starting off with clarity, and setting an intention of just love for yourself, no expectations, just appreciating the fact that you found this time just to come here, just to tune in, just to lay down on your mat, even if you don't move very much, just to soften. Keep breathing. Let the eyebrows soften. It's so important before you do any movements or before you make any actions, just to stop and clear yourself. And that goes for any situation in life. Sometimes we just jump from situation, from log to log, without even really knowing what's ahead of us. And it can be very unsafe to do that. We could wear ourselves out, so it's really important just to stop and look around you. Look inside, see where you are, see how you feel. And keep breathing. Maybe letting the hands fall back to the sides, facing up. Make sure you guys have your strap maybe right next to you in your hands. On the next inhale, I want you to bring your right knee, you can point your toe, bring your right knee into your chest, so the outside of the chest there. Deep inhale here, and drawing the right hip down. You'll notice it likes to come up for the right, so it likes to pull up as well. So we want to keep that length in the right side of the torso as well. I like to point my toes. It just creates a nice energy line, maybe a little bit more graceful. Letting the left heel, it could just be in the floor. You don't have to push so hard. We just want it to soften. The toes don't necessarily right now have to be pointed up. I just want you to notice how your body feels in this position. More deep inhale. Exhale, release the foot back to meet the left foot, so you're straight again. Inhale one more time here. Exhale. Just rebalancing before we bring the left knee now up to the left side, the left chest. Again, pointing the toe maybe softly. Right foot, same position. You don't have to be pointed up actively. Just let your foot be. Just, keep the right leg pointing up. So we don't want the foot to fall to the side. We do want it to be facing up. You don't have to flex it. One more breath. Exhale. Release the foot to meet the right foot. Big full inhale. One last time. Go ahead and grab your strap, and then we're going to bring that right knee back into the chest. Grab your strap and place it over top of the ball of your foot. The ball, if you've watched my videos, you should know this, but the ball is right above the arch of the foot. And deep inhale here. Go ahead and flex the foot, and then we're just going to extend the heel up. So make sure that you know that, no forcing the body. So don't push it because it's only going to push back. So just notice what your body is ready to give. So if your foot, you know, if your leg is a little bit more towards the corner of the room, that's absolutely fine. That's perfectly fine. We're just all looking for that same feeling, that same energy building up. So just noticing where you're at. Don't look around you and try to be, you know, if anybody else is doing this, or in your head, sometimes we just have these expectations of what we think we should be or what we think things should be. And it's just in your head. So just right now, I want you to just embrace what is, you know, because what is beautiful. And that's all that matters. If we appreciate what is, then we could always move forward. And deep inhale, so foot's flexed. I like to draw my pinky toe towards me. That'll open up my, you know, and everybody's different, but this opens up my calf a little bit more on the side of my leg. So this tends to hit the hamstrings quite a bit here. And I like to draw my hands down and then loop them just to hold on so I'm not gripping so hard. I want the upper body to be a little bit relaxed here. Your arms are obviously active, my elbows are pointed. You can have them on the floor, but I just don't want you to be so tense in the upper body. So just find some ease here. Keep breathing. Drawing that right hip down again. Remember, we want to keep that length in the right side torso. Keep breathing. When you're ready, you can move the straps into your right hand. We're going to begin to move the leg towards the right side. So extend your left hand out to the left side. Deep inhale here, and then go ahead and begin to move the leg towards the right side. So we're keeping the reins tight, the rope, the strap, whatever you want to call it, nice and tight, allowing my elbow to come onto the floor. My right hip keeps drawing down. My left foot is pointing up at this point, just to keep an energy line just active, because this is my balance, this is my stability, is my left side right now. And then go ahead and bring your right side down as far as you want. I just ran into my plant, so I'm just gonna come around it. But I like to keep my foot is flexed, my pinky toe is pulling back, and I'm lifting up with my arm to keep my foot, you know, pulling up, my legs stretching. I want you to be aware that, you know, I want your knee to be soft here. I don't want it to be hyperextending or locked out. So keep a little bit of energy and activation in that quad in the right side. And keep the hip pulling down. You may notice as we pull the leg out, you may notice some stretching in the left hip flexor, the front of the hip here, maybe in the side as well. And we're all different. Just noticing where you're at and what you feel. And keep breathing. The breath is a way to let the body know it's okay and it's safe. And so that way then, you know, your body will relax, and then we can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Remember, softening the face. And so it's the same thing. We want to make sure tailbone's down, pulling down, tucking so we're not hurting our back. Belly is firm here, a little bit firmer, just because, you know, we are moving the legs, so we want to keep this area nice and strong, just supporting ourselves. My ribs are, you know, softening, absorbing into the body. And when you're ready, let's begin to lift the leg back up very slowly, very carefully. And deep inhale. When you come back to the top, you can grab the strap with both hands again. We're just going to resettle, rebalance. So pulling the right hip back down. You may notice your legs coming up a little bit higher. Feel free to bend the knee just a little bit. That feels okay, although I do want you to keep your leg pretty straight here. Again, pulling the pinky toe in. Deep full inhale, breathing into the side body, nice and strong here. Exhale, let's move the straps into the left hand. Again, you can roll the straps over your hand, extend the right hand out to the right side, and very carefully begin to just move that leg to the left side. So you're crossing over top of your left leg, your left hip area, wherever your leg is, and keeping your right hip on the floor. So we're not lifting the right hip up just quite yet. We're still neutral with our body. So our hips are still both facing up. We're just moving the leg over to the left side as much as possible to allow that. If you notice yourself rolling, go ahead and move your leg back up just a little bit. Keep pulling your leg up enough to keep your body neutral and your right hip down. So if our right hip is riding up, this is cheating. This isn't a full stretch. So we want to make sure our alignment's perfect. And keep breathing. Just noticing your thoughts. Maybe they're moving quicker, passing by a little bit faster at this point. Just focusing on your mat. And noticing the sensations of your body, where the tightnesses are. Just during this class, I want you to, during all classes, but especially today, just breathing into those tight spots. So drawing that energy into those areas that feel, like they're done. That's it. You can't go any further. And just allowing it to be what it is. Go to, where it wants to go. And just trying to find ease in that spot. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, go ahead and allow that left leg just to come all the way to the floor. So I'm going to lift my right hip up now. I'm rolling over onto the left side of my left leg. I'm sorry, the outside of my left leg. Being confusing. And then our right leg is now on the floor. You could have it on a block or a bolster, whatever's comfortable. And I'm twisting around with my core. My lower body is twisting around my spine right now. So my spine is not, it's like a pole, it's straight, and my lower half is just twisting around it. My right arm and right shoulder is still on the floor. I maybe choke up on, the rope a little bit. My knee can be bent here just a little. Just want to feel that energy, that sensation. We're all looking for the same sensation, so appreciate where you are. Keep breathing. Softening the face, noticing what tenses up. We want to focus on softening. Keep the breath going. And then when you're ready, let's very carefully begin to roll, bring the right leg back up towards the sky. We're going to roll that right hip back down towards the floor. Grab the strap in both hands. And again, just maybe realigning yourself. Draw the right hip back down. Maybe pulling the leg up a little bit further this time. Maybe bending the knee if it feels too much. Just one last stretch on this right leg. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Go ahead and draw the knee into the chest and then remove the strap. Go ahead. Release the leg, the right leg to meet the left leg. Open the arms up. Take a breath here. Let the legs just be. The feet fall out to the side. Noticing maybe a sensation of cooling or maybe heating in that right leg now. Maybe nothing. Okay. So now we're going to draw our left knee into our chest. Okay, you can point the toe. Our right foot's going to be flexed straight up, and then put the strap again over the ball of the foot. You can wrap the straps around your hand just for support and ease on the hand. And go ahead and lift your heel straight up or towards the corner. And then let's just take this moment to align ourselves. So you know what to do. We want to draw our left hip down. Keep that left side body nice and lengthened like the right side body. Our right foot is actively flexed, pointing up. Remember, we're keeping our legs straight on the right side. Not too much energy, but just allow it to be, straight and pointed up. Flexing the left foot that's up in the air, pulling the pinky toe towards you, relaxing the upper body. Actively keep drawing the attention to the left hip. It's one of those areas that will try to cheat. It will always try to ride up, so you have to keep that active awareness, keep going back to it. It's like a child that keeps trying to get away with things every time you turn around. You just want to maybe keep an eye on it. And keep breathing. Always breathing, full inhales. If our breath and our mind become tense, our body will become tense as well, so it follows the way we are. It's all connected. Remember keeping the knee a little micro bend, not necessarily bent, but just not locking it out, especially for those of you who like to hyperextend or who tend to hyperextend. Keep breathing. Going through the checklist, tailbone down, Left hip down. I'm pulling my left hip towards my right heel, softening the ribs, softening the upper body. Elbows are pulling down. Don't think about the back pulling down. Just, tuck the back under, let the shoulders just soften. Make sure you're not stiff in the traps. Neck is neutral. Let the jaw and the cheeks just sink, fall, melt off your face. Finding that ease here. Yin yoga, these poses, it's a little bit different from restorative yoga. Restorative yoga is more comfort in each pose, and this is kind of like that right in the middle. It's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily comfortable, but it's trying to find, you're able to find maybe some form of ease with a lot of focus in these poses, and they're very intense, a lot of energy drawing into these areas. And when we sit into these poses, we want to find not pain, so never finding pain, but discomfort is probably going to be something you face. And if it feels like you can't hang with it, then back off a little bit. That's pain. That's not good. And go ahead and move the straps into your right hand, or your left hand, sorry. Deep inhale here, pulling the hip back down towards the right heel. We're going to extend the foot out to the left side. Right arm is out to the right side. And then go ahead and tighten up on the leash or rope or whatever you have, and let the foot just fall out. Go down as far as what's comfortable to you. Remember, we just want to keep that left hip pulling towards the right. We want to keep length, always building length with strength. Deep inhale, keeping the pinky toe drawing towards you. We want to open up the inside of the leg, also the outside. So when we open up like this, our leg comes out to the side, we're focusing more on the inner part of the leg, behind the leg when we lift up. Notice the hamstring and the inner thigh area. You'll notice the groin area. Maybe even, it's all connected, so maybe even again, on the side you'll feel this time the right hip. Maybe a little stretch in that side as well. Just like I said, everybody's so different. So if you don't feel it, like what I'm saying, that's fine. Just no pain. Discomfort. Keep breathing. Maybe finding your ujjayi breath within this. Ujjayi is very cooling, so if you feel a lot of heat building up, you can use ujjayi as long as you're not nasally and clogged up. Ujjayi is constricting the back of the throat just a little bit, so when you breathe through the nose in and out of the nose, you'll notice a sound of like a whispering sound. So here, I'll do it for you. And it's soft, it's not too loud, It's nice because you can draw your awareness to that breath, and there's a noise there. And when you're ready, go ahead and begin to lift the legs straight back up, whether it's to the front corner or up towards the sky, ceiling, wherever you are. And then let's just rebalance, resettle here. So remember, left hips pulling down. Each time we go into a different pose, you'll notice you have to go through the checklist, because very easily do we come out of alignment. So alignment's number one. So pinky toe pulling towards you. You can bend the knee a little bit, pulling the leg up, as high as you can with keeping your alignment. The right foot's pointed up, flex, deep inhale, softening the ribs. Go ahead and move the strap into your right hand. We're going to cross over. Remember, extending the left hand out to the side, crossing over the right leg now, the right hip, keeping the left hip on the floor. So just allowing enough cross to keep your alignment. Everything is neutral, pointing up, like how we started. The only thing that's out of alignment right now is your left leg. Keep the breath going. Deep inhale. Maybe filling into the back of the body now. Noticing it drawing into the back of the heart. And keep it filling into the belly. Breathing is a wonderful way to stretch out the upper body. Remember, drawing awareness to those tight areas. I personally feel it on even down below. I usually starts from the bottom up, so I feel this in my calf, right above my ankle. So I'm very tight, and then, you know, it works all the way up the leg. So just noticing where you begin feeling that tightness, and draw the breath. Think of the breath going into that area. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and release that left foot, maybe pulling the right hip back a little bit. We're going to twist around our spine, drawing that foot down towards the floor. You can bend the knee a little bit, maybe choking up on the leash a little. We're rolled over to the right side of our leg. And so you don't have to keep the foot completely flexed on the right leg, just trying to keep the leg a little bit more straight. Pressing into the floor, my right hip's into the floor. My left side of my body, my left shoulder is still actively touching the floor right now. It's maybe lifted just a little. A little bit of sensation building up on that left side in this twist. So this is a Supta Padangusthasana. So it's almost like that standing pose where it's hand to big toe, only a twisting, so Paravita. And Supta means laying down, so we are laying down in this pose. And keep breathing. Remember, keeping the pinky toe pulling in. If you need to back off a little bit, bring the leg down a little, that's perfectly fine. Remember, no expectations, just working with what is. Keeping the core strong, we're twisting around the spine. And once again, the spine is nice and straight. And then when you're ready, begin to lift the left leg straight up to the sky or the ceiling. We're going to move our hips back into neutral alignment. We're going to draw the left hip down again. Grab the strap in both hands, pulling the foot towards you. Heels extending out. Just resettling. And then bend the knee into the chest, remove the strap. Go ahead and place the strap right next to you, pretty close. You're going to knead it again. Release the left foot to meet the right foot. Open the palms up and just take a breath here. Noticing now how that left leg feels. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring both knees into the chest, and then wrap your hands around them, your arms around them. Give yourself a little hug, nothing too extreme, not too much energy. Maybe rocking back and forth, pointing the toes, allowing that energy line. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. Go ahead and plant the feet on the floor. We're going to extend now both of our feet up, almost like we're doing a close happy baby. So we're bending our knees back into our chest. Our belly is nice and strong, right? We want to keep our lower body on the floor. So only bend into the chest as much as you can without rounding the back. And we're not lifting up here. So we're keeping our body nice and, neutral and soft. Our upper body, except for our core, is nice and strong. And then release your two peace fingers, and then grab onto your toes, your big toes. We're just going to grab onto the big toes. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, firming the belly, and then just extending the heels, the back of the legs up as much as you can, but also keeping your lower back on the floor. So a little bit of a stretch, and then go ahead and from the hip, we're going to just extend the legs out to the side. So it's like a like a straddle, a laying straddle, happy baby. It's a mix. So allowing yourself to keep breathing, softening the jaw, the upper body. So we're reaching towards our toes here, but we want to make sure that your shoulders are still down. So we're not pulling up here. We're just allowing our shoulders. Our hands are just reaching. We're allowing our body to be nice and soft on top. Belly is nice and strong here to allow for the fold. Keep breathing. The knees are opening up in line with the feet. So if the feet are coming out, pointing a certain direction, make sure your knees are pointing the same direction. And then exhale, bring the knees back together. Inhale, release the feet back down. Go ahead and hug yourself once again. Balasana. Apanasana. And then again, bring the feet back up to face up, and grab with the peace fingers, the two big toes. And then just one more time, maybe opening the legs up just a little bit more, pressing the femurs, the thigh bones up a little bit higher this time. Focusing on softening the upper body. reaching with keeping the shoulders down. The shoulders are plugged into the body. Deep inhale, allowing yourself to open and stretch in the inner thighs and the groin area, the hamstrings, the inner hamstrings. Maybe rocking side to side, finding some ease here. And then when you're ready, bring the legs together. Go ahead and release your feet to the floor. Open the palms out. Maybe let the knees fall to one side. Coming back up, let them fall to the other side. Inhale one more time. And exhale, bring the feet back up. This time we're going to grab the peace fingers one more time and then just draw the legs towards you, so we're not opening them up. We're just pulling. It's almost like an Uttanasana, standing forward fold, but we're laying down. So Supta Uttanasana here. This pose is called a Supta Paschimottanasana. So it's a folding over top of your legs, but this time we're bringing our legs to us. And when you're ready, release them down. Release the palms to the side. You can extend the legs out. And just noticing how you feel. Keep the breath going. Open mouth, exhale, release. Okay, we made it through the leg portion. When you're ready, we're just going to come up to a seated position, so you guys can roll to either one side and make your way up. You can rock, you can just come up. If you're strong in your core, I'm going to do a little rock, so using my elbows and then pressing onto my hands, and I'm just going to come into a Sukhasana. So you guys find a nice comfortable cross-leg position. Sukhasana is where one leg is up. It's like a half lotus pose, so you can do that. You can have one leg in front of the other, whatever's comfortable for you, but I do want your knees out to the side, your hips are open right here, and just find ease. This is where I would like you guys to grab maybe a block if you have one, or if you have your bolster, you could be on your bolster. I'm going to grab my bolster and just show you how to do it on your bolster. I'm going to place my bolster under my sitting bones. My sitting bones are my butt bones, so my bolster is here. And I'm just going to stay elevated here. So my sitting bones are up, I'm elevated up. My legs are going to be crossed in front to me. So my legs, my knees are lower than my hips. Okay, this allows for you to sit nice and upright. Doesn't put too much pressure on the knees here. And it's just really good for your spine, because we want to find that length, right? So making sure that you find length, you're able to, find that neutral, pelvis. So neutral pelvis is, we either tip forward, so it's where little bones right here tip forward, which we do need that when we're going into forward folds. And then the posterior toes when the tailbone pulls under. So that tends to happen when we have tight hamstrings or the other tight areas of the lower body, and it pulls on the spine, and then the spine ends up rolling, so we don't, and rounding, so we don't want that. So finding that like right in the middle spot. Some people naturally have one or the other, so just balancing it by doing the opposite, just finding what works for you to find that length and comfort. Maybe placing the hands on the thighs here. Full inhale, finding length in each vertebrae, noticing the breath maybe going in between each vertebrae as you breathe. Pulling the crown of the head up, letting the shoulders drop, pulling them back, and then letting them just fall. Inhale, lifting the chest up, lifting the heart up a little bit, and then as you exhale, softening the ribs in. We don't want to be back bending. Keeping the belly nice and firm when we're upright. Our belly is our support. And then when you're ready, I'm going to have you guys go ahead and just slowly inhale, extend your arms out to the side. So we'll do a little sun salutation here. So extend your arms out to the side, so it's like you're reaching your arms out away from you. So keep pulling up through the sitting bones. We're balancing evenly on both sitting bones and lifting up. So grounding through the sit bones, lifting up through the spine and extending out. So we're just going all over, all directions right now. Extending the arms straight out to the sides, right? We're reaching away from our the middle, the center, reaching away from the heart, the center of our body, our upper body, and then our palms are facing down. And then right here, when you get to parallel to the floor, I want you to flip your palms, begin to face up as you move the arms straight up overhead. So we want to draw the palms all the way from the shoulder sockets forward. So we're turning the triceps, which is here. We want to turn everything forward as we come up, because what that does is it protects our shoulders. When we're up here, we don't want to impinge the shoulders, so this is a little bit safer here. So palms are facing each other. I'm energizing up through the side body. Core is nice and strong. I'm reaching. My neck is neutral. You know, I'm not tilting my head back or tipping it forward. My chin is about parallel to the floor here. And then exhale, begin to turn the palms. We're going to face down now, and then I'm just extending again away from the body and then reaching down. Just noticing how your arms feel. You may notice some energy building up now in the upper body. Again, let's do the same thing. So palms are facing up as we come up. Triceps facing forward. Now reaching through the spine, the side body and the spine, softening the shoulders down. Not pulling them down, but just letting them come down. We just don't want to be reaching up. Exhale, let's bring the palms to heart center. And then let's just press into the palms. So opening our collarbone, our sternum spreads, our elbows are out to the sides. We're just putting a little bit of pressure on our palms here, opening our palms up a little bit, our wrists. You may notice some energy in the hands. You know, keeping the face soft. You know, our face is melting now down towards our lower body. And keeping the crown of the head pulling up, keeping the space in the body. Keep breathing. And then with your palms together, let's just extend the hands back up towards the sky. Maybe you can, or ceiling, you can look up this time. Lifting the heart up, so not back bending, but we're lifting the heart up just a little bit. And then extend the arms out to the side. Palms can begin to face down, and then release the hands back either to your bolster or, you know, onto your thighs. Just noticing how you feel from doing that. Keep the breath going. So one more time, we're going to lift the arms up, and palms face up. And as they come up, they're facing each other. And then exhale, and then release the palms out to the sides again. Arms are swan diving out. But this time I want you to extend the arms behind you when you come down. What I want you to do is, if you have your strap close by, you can use your strap as well if your hands don't touch. Otherwise, I want you guys to clasp the hands behind you, so they're going to be like this, and then draw your palms down. So same thing with the strap. You're going to grab the strap, so extending from the shoulders, lifting the heart up, drawing the palms or the strap down. And then if you have the bolster or block, you can just place the palms on there, and then lifting the heart up. So not pulling the front body forward, but we're just lifting the heart up. So we're bending from our upper body, our chest, not our lower back, our chest area. So we're just lifting the heart up, pulling the traps down, the shoulders down, letting, you know, the elbows be facing back. Keeping the arms straight here if you can. Just inhale, lifting the heart up a little bit further. Exhale, sinking the ribs down, lifting a little bit more when we do that. We're lifting the upper body, the back ribs up off the torso, the pelvis. We're lifting. And then release, exhale, release the hands. Noticing some energy in the shoulders. Let's inhale again, the hands out to the side, palms facing up, reaching straight up. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, bring the hands back to heart center, palms touching, pressing, building some energy. Maybe having your thumbs touching your heart, just noticing how your heart's beating right now. Maybe try to soften the breath a little bit. You know, it doesn't take very much movement to get your heart rate up. One more time, let's bring the hands, and palms are still touching, so we're going to bring the hands back up. This time creating a little bit of a twist, so you can release the palms. The palms are facing each other, but they don't have to be touching, and then we're just going to twist from the torso. So twisting from the lower abdomen, we're going to just twist to the right side. So just twisting as much as you can, no forcing, and then exhale, release the right hand, maybe behind you, maybe on the bolster. Left hand can come in front of you in your lap. And we're just not necessarily grabbing onto something and twisting further, but maybe just a little bit of assistance with the hands, just to kind of hold you there. But we're using our core. deep down in the core muscles. Just twisting to what your body is allowing. My shoulders are turning. My head is just, it's turned just a little bit, maybe to the front of my right shoulder. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, you can twist forward, release the hands to the thighs again. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So bring the hands back to heart center, pressing palms together, thumbs to touch the heart, firming the belly, getting it prepared to go into our twist on the other side. Deep inhale, reaching the palms straight up. You can release them from touching. They're facing each other. And then again, we're going to use our core muscles just to turn around the spine so our spine stays nice and straight. We're not going to move forward or backwards. Just turning around our spine, twisting using the core muscles. You may notice a little bit of stretching in maybe the back, the lat area, so the side body on the right side. And then when you're ready, exhale, release the left hand behind you. Shoulders are pulling back, and then right hand's going to be in front of you, maybe in your lap. And keep your belly nice and firm, supporting your back. We don't want to be hunching or bending. Lifting the heart, softening the face, lengthening through the neck. Shoulders are down and back. Keep breathing. Very good. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release and come back forward. Let's remove our bolster or whatever you guys are sitting on right now. And then just place it behind you off to the side. Go ahead and switch your legs. So if your right leg was either in front or on top or behind, just do the opposite right now. So we just kind of want to move around a little bit. So I'm going to bring my left leg now on top. We're still in this open leg, cross leg position. All right, so here we're going to come into a forward fold. I have you guys do one more, reaching up. This time let's extend the arms out to the side, opening the front of the shoulders up, like we're reverse flying, lifting up, and then elbows facing down. We just release the hands down to the floor in front of us, and then just go ahead and walk, keeping the core nice and tight. We're just going to walk forward here, maybe grabbing your block before you walk forward so you can use it for your forehead. You can start on one level and then just move it, down if you want to come down a little bit further. So walking the palms forward, keeping the belly nice and firm, and then possibly releasing the forehead to the block. It's a little bit of a forward bend here, stretching the hips out just a little bit more. Deep inhale, maybe noticing stretching the lower back now, and the shoulders, the back, wherever you may feel it, just keeping that awareness. And when you feel ready, you can release the block maybe to a lower level, or just full on remove the block and come all the way down, keeping the belly nice and firm. We want to keep our sitting bones on the floor, or close to on the floor. So, not coming up. We want to stay down, rooting down, grounding. Keep breathing, maybe releasing the elbows to the floor. Let the palms just, the arms just fall. It's like a balasana, but cross-legged. So our hips are back, keeping the core nice and strong to support the lower back, because our lower back is, obviously it's coming into a little bit of rounding here. And so as long as our core is nice and strong, our lower back will stay safe. We just don't want to put too much pressure on it, so making sure you're not pushing it and forcing it into anything, just allowing it to be secure with the core nice and strong. It's like a pillow supporting the back, and finding some ease here. Now breathing, our back body is nice and open, so breathing into the back body. Keep filling the lungs, the belly, even though the belly is nice and strong here. And the back of the neck, just letting it fall. For those of you who don't have a block and your head is just kind of hanging here, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't necessarily have to be touching the floor, just allowing the back of the neck just to release and fall. Maybe swaying side to side a little bit, noticing what sensations you feel with the sway. Obviously, if you sway, you need to lift your head up just a little bit if it's on something. And then when you're ready, let's walk our hands up to slowly come back up. Our spine nice and erect. And then again, we're just going to switch. I just want to get you off that leg. So we're just going to switch again what we started with. So, switch your legs, your cross leg one more time, and then we'll come into one more forward fold. So hands extend out to the side, palms face each other, and then release the hands and go ahead and walk them up, same thing. You can start on a top level with your block and then move down. Just staying here, making sure the sitting bones are rooting down into the ground. As much as possible, they may lift a little bit, and that's perfectly fine, but we just want to keep that anchor. Keeping the belly firm is most important here. Maybe releasing the elbows down, letting the shoulders just fall, the back of the neck just relaxes. And when you're ready, go ahead and walk the hands back up. Remove your block off to the side wherever you can so it's out of the way. Very good. And then I'm going to have you guys, let's move into a nice little tabletop pose here. So tabletop is where our shoulders are over our wrists, and so our wrists are nice and even. So make sure that you measure from the shoulders, not the fingertips, and you want to rotate the triceps back because our hands are, even though we're in this down position, our hands are lifting up from our body. So pressing evenly into the ground. So when I say that, I've said it on my videos, but I will reiterate it over and over again. So pressing evenly throughout the entire palm, not just here, because we keep doing that, we'll never open this up and we stay stiff, and also the wrist, just it puts a lot of pressure on the wrist. So allowing, our palms to put pressure behind the knuckles here. So pressing evenly there, opening the palms up like you're suctioning to the floor, and then maybe gripping just a touch, not too much, not like cat clawing, but we're just gripping the floor just a little bit. And then our knees are going to be underneath our hips, and just finding a little bit of ease here. Triceps, again, they rotate back. Our body is not dipping. We're not doing cat-cows here. We're just going to stay right here, maybe curling the toes under to open up the feet as well. Your body allows for that. Just deep inhale, pressing, grounding into the floor with the palms and the knees, and then just lifting up through the legs, through the arms, firming the belly. Making sure your neck is just not hunching like this. We don't want to tuck the neck. We want to find length in the spine. So through the crown of the head, through the tailbone, finding that length. Deep inhale. Let's just maybe move side to side. So we're just going to sway in circles here, creating circles, just opening up our forearms, opening up our wrists. Inhaling with one rotation, maybe two. Nice and slow, keeping the arms nice and straight here. Let's do it a few times, keeping your core strong, so we're just a little bit of lubrication in the shoulders and also to the hip joints. And then when you're ready, let's switch the rotation. So we'll go the opposite way. Breathing in with one circle and then maybe out with the other. Very good. And then when you're ready, let's take a deep inhale. Maybe just shift forward just a little bit. So inhale, lifting the heart, dropping the belly. We're lifting the sacrum up. Maybe a feeling of like dragging the knees out, so we're spreading our sit bones or butt bones out. So we're creating space, pulling our body away from the spine and then dropping the spine down. Lifting the heart, so we're not just jumping into the lower back. We want to pull the heart forward. And deep inhale here, and then begin to shift the body backwards and rolling up from the sacrum. Firming the belly, almost like we're going to come into a balasana, but we're not fully. Balasana is child's pose. We're not fully releasing our bodies onto our legs. We're just shifting back and forth here. So inhale, go ahead and drop the belly, coming forward, pulling the heart forward. Exhale very slowly, pulling the navel up towards the spine, and the spine comes up and back towards the back corner. Inhale again, shifting forward, lifting the heart up, dropping the belly, softening the ribs down, pressing the shoulder blades into the back. And then one more time, let's exhale, rolling the spine, sitting back just a little bit here. Very good. Okay, let's come back to neutral here. Just go ahead and release now into our balasana. So our arms can come down to the floor, just relaxing. Deep inhale. Exhale. And then Let's lift our hips up, coming back into our tabletop, and then just release our hands. So we're gonna walk our hands forward. And then just releasing our chin down to the floor. So our triceps are facing the floor, our hips are up. You can open your toes if you want to, having them curled under. Just pulling your underarms towards the floor. Maybe up on your chin, maybe you have your forehead on the floor. Just find what works for you. I just want you to find ease, not crunching the, the neck. So we're opening up the shoulders. So again, deep inhale. Exhale, softening the ribs down, allowing the shoulders to open. Staying here for just a bit. Keep breathing. Maybe noticing the stretching in maybe the side body on the outside of the back. Maybe noticing in the ribs. You're stretching the ribs out. The upper back, the shoulders, everybody's different. Let's keep breathing. Allowing the mind to slow down. This tension can be really intense sometimes. It can be really difficult to just sit still. But I encourage you to just focus on the feelings. Focus on the breath. Just aim for breathing. And when you're ready, we're going to move the palms up, lifting back up. And then walk the palms back into our tabletop. Deep inhale here. Maybe noticing the energy building up, a little heat tension. Let's release the feet onto the floor. Go ahead and curl the toes under here. And then I want you to walk the palms back. We're going to come into what's called rabbit pose. So rabbit pose is going to open your backs up a little bit, okay? Your upper backs up a little bit. So releasing your forehead towards the floor, maybe the top of the head, a little bit closer to the top of the head. I want you to reach back so your core is nice and strong here. I'm keeping my belly nice and strong because my back is rounding here. I'm going to reach back. I'm rooting down with my knees. I'm going to reach back and grab my heels here and then pull my body, my upper back forward and up. So I'm pulling my back forward and up. So my shoulders, it's stretching my traps, it's stretching my upper back, keeping my belly nice and firm, lifting my spine up and forward. Deep inhale here. Keep your core nice and strong. My forehead is barely touching the floor. Keep the belly firm, very firm. Softening the ribs in. And then let's release the palms. Let's open the knees up, come back into our balasana, falling down in between that space and just allowing the body to settle and sink. Just surrendering now to the earth. A rabbit pose can build up a lot of energy in your body. One more breath. Maybe using ujjayi here if you feel a lot of heat building up. Let's bring our knees back together and come back up. We're going to do rabbit pose one more time here. So again, lifting our lower backs up a little bit. We're firming the belly, right? And then we're staying nice and strong in the legs. We're going to keep the heels up. Reach back, grab the heels, spreading the shoulder blades away from the spine, keeping the belly as firm as possible, lifting up. Deep inhale into the back of the heart. Exhale, soften the ribs, pulling that. It's like you're pulling your heart into your back. Spreading the shoulder blades, allowing that stretch in between your traps, your lower trap area. It goes in between the shoulder blades, the spine. Keep breathing. One more breath here. Exhale, release back into our balasana. Spread the knees, just allowing yourself to sink, soften. And let's come back up. And we're just going to close our legs up and come up into a virasana. So we're sitting on our heels. If you guys like, you can also place a block in between your feet here. And then just sit up elevated a little bit higher, again, to find that, that balance. So we're gonna stretch our neck out just a little bit. So release your left hand, you can just place it on top of your thigh. Lift your right arm up and you're just gonna curl it around and grab the corner of the left side of the head. And then my elbow's up, all right? My shoulder's down. It's not too much activation over there. I'm just kind of grabbing here. And then what I wanna do is just very carefully pulling my head just towards the right corner, just a little bit. I'm gonna open by pulling my left side of my neck back and then drawing my left shoulder down. Just a little bit of an opening, and you find whatever works for you. You may want to walk around the head just a little bit more. Whatever feels good to you, whatever feels tight and tense, that's where you want to be. Breathing into that area, drawing the energy into those spaces. Remember, keeping your pelvis nice and neutral here, so keeping the belly nice and firm, pulling that shoulder down. 3 more breaths. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release your right hand down and shake it off. Roll the neck out very slowly, very carefully. It's a bit vulnerable when you stretch it, so you may notice some little feels or little cracky noises in it. Just be very careful, and then switch the rotation very slowly so you don't get dizzy. Keeping your belly firm. Okay, and then when you're ready, come back to neutral, and then we're going to lift our left hand, place the right hand on the thigh, lift the left hand, and just going to circle around you, grab the right corner of the head, whatever feels comfortable, whatever area feels, appropriate to stretch for you. And you're just going to pull very gently. We're not cranking it. We're just a little bit of, it's almost like an anchor. You're holding it there as you pull the right side of the neck out, so the right back corner of the neck back behind the shoulder. Draw the shoulder down. Drawing the shoulder down, the right shoulder down, is what allows for that very deep opening in the neck. Keep breathing. And play with it a little bit, maybe moving the head a little bit more forward. You can move your hand back a little bit more. You can move it to the side. Whatever feels good. You can also turn the head a little bit towards that left side. Just whatever feels right. That's just a really good way to open your neck up. I'm going to be doing tutorials on, ways to open the traps, the neck, and everything like that. So put a little bit more focus in these areas. So I recommend you look out for that if you notice a feeling of, intense sensations in these areas right now, which many people get from just sitting, from being stressed out, from driving or having their arms up a lot, just whatever it may be. When you're sitting at a desk. When you're ready, release your left hand down to your thigh. Again, we're just going to rotate the neck out very carefully, very slowly in this vulnerable position for your neck. Keep breathing. Not necessarily big circles, but whatever feels good to you. And when you're ready, maybe closing the eyes feels really nice. And switching the rotation. And then let's just do one more salutation here. So we're just going to extend the hands out away from the body. Remember, we're reaching out, keeping the core nice and strong, and then switching the palms to face up. And as they come up, they face each other. Reaching up, maybe looking up very slightly. We just worked on the neck, so be very careful. Just a big inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands back to your heart, pressing, bringing the thumbs to touch your heart, noticing again your heartbeat, the feeling of your heart. It's like saying you love yourself and you appreciate yourself. Okay, and then when you're ready, let's just remove the block. And let's come back into forward. So I like to just swish my legs out to the side. I'm going to come onto my sitting bones with my legs extended out in front of me. And here you may want to have a bolster, or you can have a block behind you. There's a few things that you could do. I'm actually going to place a block under my knees here. And that way then my knees they're a little bit, they tend to be a little bit tight in the back of the legs, so this will allow me to be able to find some ease in this position. So I'm going to have you guys find that nice comfort position. You can also roll up a towel or anything you would like to keep your pelvis upright, because we tend to, if we're tight in the back of the legs, we tend to roll here. So we want to keep our pelvis nice and upright. That's why it's nice to bend the knees. Feet are flexing and pointing up. Remember, we're pulling the pinky toes in towards us. We're going to deep inhale here. Lifting again, creating space in the spine, and then exhale, go ahead and fold forward over top. So we're tipping from the pelvis, drawing that feeling of pushing the butt away from us, and we're just gonna surrender into a forward fold. Remember we did this in the beginning, maybe wrapping the palms around the feet, firming the belly. We want to keep the belly nice and tight here because it allows for that folding. Remember, the lower back can be very vulnerable in this position, so we want to keep the belly nice and strong to support it. Maybe if you have a bolster of some sort or even a block. So I'm going to switch this just to show you. So if my legs are straight, if you're fine being in a straight position, you can place a block over your legs and just allow your forehead to just fall onto the legs, grabbing your toes here. That's perfectly fine. Maybe stretching out the upper body a little bit. We just want to find more of a neutral spine here, so we don't want to be rounding so much here. So making sure, you know, you're not just arching like this in this position. So if it's fine to be with a bolster right here, you know, you can be here too. That's fine because you're over top of a bolster. But if your head is balancing on this, on a block like this, you know, it could put a lot of strain on your back. So you have to be very careful. So maybe also too, you can place the block between your legs and then allow your forehead to go there, bending the knees, allowing your chest to come really close to your upper thighs. So there's different ways to get into this position. But for safety, we want to keep our back as straight as possible. There's going to be a little bit of rounding, obviously keeping our core nice and strong. Learning that the core must support the lower back. So we're going to keep our back as straight as possible. We don't want to dump too much rounding into the back. And allowing for surrender here. Keep breathing. Paschimottanasana. Opening up the back, the neck, the back of the neck. Allowing it to be soft. Two more breaths. Inhaling into the back body. One more breath. Coming up, let's remove the block, bolster, whatever you have placed there. Let's go ahead and draw our left knee out to the side and pulling our left foot to touch the inside of the right leg. So I'm in like a half lotus and also a straddle. This is called Janu Sirsasana. So I'm going to, my knee is out to the side. Okay, it's not lifting up, it's out to the side. So I want to deep inhale, extend the arms out to the side. We're going to come into a salutation here and then begin to twist your body. Remember we did the twist, so we're going to come with arms up and then we're going to twist from the torso towards that straight foot. Our foot's flexed up, pinky toes pulling in towards us, and we're just going to begin to reach towards that. So we're not curving, we're twisting and then drawing our body close to that. If you need to, again, it's like we just did, we need to bend the knee to bring our chest to our thigh. That's perfectly fine. Keep breathing here. Keeping the core very strong to twist around the spine, right at the lower belly. Remember, going through the checklist. So we're tipping because we're forward folding here, so we're tipping the hips forward. So it's like we're pushing the hips, the buttocks back, and then the sitting bones, or I'm sorry, the hip bones are moving forward here, tipping forward. Two more breaths here. Allowing your forehead to come to the knee maybe. Or if you have a bolster, you can be on a bolster right on the inside. Keep the twist. Remember, keeping our energy and our activity or focus point on the areas that, need to be soft, but also the areas that need to stay strong, because we need to soften here, but we need to also stay strong in the core just for safety, to support ourselves. And when you're ready, let's come up. Shake it off a little bit. And we're going to bring the hands back up. So heart center, bring the hands back up. And we're going to extend. So we're facing now towards the center. We're neutral, so we're not twisting at all right here. We're just going to release our right hand to that right foot and then just reach over top with our left hand. So we're just going to reach over top, almost like what we did when we did the neck stretches. Just a little bit of a side bend here. I notice a little bit of stretching in my lower back here, my lower side back, my left side. When you're ready, come back up. Okay, let's extend the left leg out, maybe slapping the back of the knees to the floor, and then let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to bring the knee out to the side as we pull the right leg in, maybe lifting the left knee up just a little bit. So our right foot, the bottom of the foot is touching the left inner thigh here. It's facing the left inner thigh. And my body is neutral, so I'm facing that center here. And deep inhale, extend the arms out to the side and straight up overhead. And then we're just going to twist towards that straight leg. Remember, our foot is flexed, pulling the pinky toe in towards us. And then we're just going to fall and fold over top of that leg. Remember, keeping the knee up so we can get our chest to almost or close to, as much as possible, touching that upper thigh. And we're keeping the core strong, twisting from the lower body, from the lower core. Keep breathing. And like I said before, if you have a bolster, I'm just going to show you. If you have a bolster, you can place it on the inside of the leg. And then you're still twisting, but you can allow your body just to move, a little bit more towards the inside. Keeping the pinky pulling in. Keeping the core very strong, supporting the lower back. Remember, we're pushing our butt back, tipping over top of the pelvis. Allowing the right leg to be soft. You'll notice you're clenching maybe in certain areas. Just try to unclench them. Try to soften them. One more breath. And when you're ready, come on up. And then bring your hands, maybe shake it off a little bit. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale here. And then let's release our left hand to, now we're facing forward here, right in the center, right? We're not twisting. Our left hand's going to go over top of our left foot that's pointed up. And then we're just going to reach our right arm up and over top, just for a little side bend here. And your leg, you may need to move your leg out to the side just a little bit more. Opening your right shoulder up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, wherever you are. Just a little bit of an arc here. I'm stretching out the side body just a little bit. Keep breathing. Making sure your arm is, you're lifting your elbow, lifting your shoulder, but you're not stiff in the arm. We want to keep our core nice and strong, but no stiffness. When you're ready, release your right hand back down. Let's bring our left leg in, and then again, extend our right leg out and just slap the backs of the thighs here. Very good. And then let's one more time bring the knees back. So we're going to shuffle the legs back one more time here. Coming back into our tabletop. Let's open the knees out, and then you can grab a bolster or maybe a block, or just stay elevated here. We're going to extend the knees out towards the side so we're nice and wide. We're going to come into frog pose. Your feet, just find comfort. Make sure that your feet are aiming the same direction as your knees to protect your knees, and then just coming into almost like a dolphin. So you can clasp the hands, maybe pull the pinky, the bottom pinky in, so you're not just pushing on that pinky. Elbows are under the shoulders here, maybe moving them out to the side or to the front just a little bit, letting your forehead come to the floor or hang. We're just going to move back and forth, opening the inner thighs here in our frog pose. So keep breathing. Find relaxation in the hips, the inner thighs. Keeping the core strong, not too tight. We're not rounding here, so we have a neutral spine. 4 more breaths. Full breaths. Remember fulfilling your body with this oxygen, just allowing it to move, this live energy just to move throughout your body to cleanse and restore all areas that we've opened, all the way up to the mind. Maybe almost like you have eyes looking within you and you see those roads with the trees all moved out of the way. Just notice where you see trees still. One more deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Let's come back to the hands very carefully, maybe bringing the feet in and then lifting to bring the knees in. And then we're going to swish, maybe swishing to the other side this time. And then let's just come into a, I'm going to have you guys come into a fish pose, Matsyasana. So grab your bolster and then let's place your bolster behind you. And if you have a block, you can do this with blocks. You can have one block, if you have 2 of them, you can have one block like this or even up like this longwise, and then have the other block either tall or, on its side, so your neck is not going to be up, crunched, or back too far. So we're opening the chest here. So you don't necessarily need a bolster. You can have a pillow as well. But we're just going to bring the pillow so that way then, if you have blocks, have one block right below the shoulder blades. You got to find that comfortable spot. We want to open the upper chest, not the back. So having that comfortable spot. And then, the other one under the crown or the back of the head. And so your neck is neutral. But let's just roll back onto our bolster, whatever you're going to be placed on. And let the palms come out to the side. The shoulders open up. Your legs can be extended out in front of you. We did a lot of, external rotation. A lot of cross-seated poses today, so allow your feet just to be what feels comfortable. You can also do butterfly pose. You can have your knees up. It's just whatever feels right to you. And we're going to come into our Shavasana now, just allowing our chest and our heart to lift up and open in this nice, comfortable, laying supine position. And keep breathing, opening our bodies up to the energy that we just drew into our bodies. And just one last cleanse. Maybe opening to release all the negative blockages for good away from us. Allowing your feet just to fall where they want to fall. If your hands are out, just allowing them to curl. No tightness here. Allowing your face to soften. So the area behind your last teeth, just letting it fall. It may feel funny, but just let it be. The cheeks relax, sink like you're melting, like there's the gravity is taken over you. Just let your body just melt into the floor. No resistance here. Really imagining your heart as like this ball of energy, of fire, of love, and just coming up, surfacing. Noticing the breath now, noticing the body and all the sensations after opening up. Feel a sense of cleanse, of rejuvenation, or maybe you still feel tight, and maybe just taking note of where you had the most areas of tension. Just remembering that for next time. Maybe looking for a different session that can cater to that. But right now, just settling, embracing what you've done. Self-love, self-care. You've sat here to look within, to release stresses, and to just be. Let's just take a few more breaths here. softening the breath. Feel free to stay here as long as you feel is necessary for you today. You can always pause this, or you can listen to me and just continue to stay in your lovely peaceful Shavasana. I'm going to make my way up, so find a way to come up peacefully, maybe wiggling the toes a little bit, the ankles, everything, just to wake the body up a little bit. And then just come up to a seated position, maybe moving your bolster, or if it's not in the way, coming back to a cross-legged position. And I just want to close out with you today and say thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this beautiful session, this yin yoga, to allow peace within and clarity within your head and within your body. I hope that this session does you well and that you were able to take note of areas maybe that need a little bit more attention. I'm so excited to be able to do this for you and to provide you with these sessions that help build you and allow you to focus on yourself. So namaste, thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe.